Good morning, lovies. Can you hear me? Am I here? I'm at the Dunks, and I tried to do what Jimmy does and like hook myself up to the Wi-Fi. There's no Wi-Fi here. Megan Rothwell says loud and clear, bitch. Okay, we are here. I got the notebook, handy and dandy. Are we emotionally charged after the last 2 days, days 25 and 26, Commonwealth v. Karen Read? I blacked out, you blacked out, we blacked out. We are one, okay? I'm gonna name this episode, it's Pick Me, Choose Me, Love Me, okay? That's an ode to what? Grey's Anatomy. Meredith. Okay? Meredith Grey is going to save us. The pick me is Kelly Deb. Oh. Okay? She's never going to testify a day in court ever again. All right? Choose me is Dr. Marie Russell, an angel face. Choose me. I'm the one. I am the chosen one. Why? Because she is a queen among queens, a woman of unparalleled expertise, and the premier expert in the world, like literally not our country, whom has been a police officer, who actually like adopted her niece and nephew and raised them. Oh. And who is an ER physician and pathologist. Get the fuck out of here. She's incredible. All right? She is an angel among us. And the love me part of this, oh, there is a squirrel eating a crulla. Oh, might be Jimmy's squirrel. Okay. Then the love me is Officer Barrows, the big three. Those are my big three last 2 days. I have not slept. Okay, last night I went for Chinese food at Yang's. I had a bit of a uncomfy belly afterwards, I'll say that. Okay, had some argida that I couldn't stop with Tums or Alka-Seltzer. Had to put myself to bed. So now that I've come to, and you are here and I am here, we've got notes. Let us go. Dr. Russell, you know it, but is she qualified? The glarer. Will, fuck off. First thing in the morning, you want to fuck with me at 6:14? Is she qualified? Qualify my foot up your ass, Will. Yes. Oh, is she qualified? Hey, Hank Brennan, are you qualified? Oh. What have you done, Hank? Except make yourself look like a walking asshole for the last couple of days, in my opinion. All right, so let's start it. We start with who? Johnny D. Johnny Demandus, right? Or Demandus, whatever his name is. He's one of the 9 best friends from first grade of Trooper Michael Proctor. I go, oh, what are you doing? He, beautiful head of hair. Okay? I liked it. I like a jaw. I like it all. And he doesn't want to even read these text messages. He gets to page, I don't know, 6. And he's like, no. I don't feel comfortable. These aren't my words. Hank Brennan, he says, I'll read them. And then he doesn't even read it. You can't even say the C word, you pussy. Say it. Because your pal, Michael Proctor, former trooper, disgraced trooper, he had no problem winging it out. To whom? His boss, his colleagues, and his 9 best friends from first grade. Oh. But then there is the bigger concern, babes. This is the day Officer John O'Keefe passed away. Okay? He has just been pronounced at Good Samaritan Hospital, and you're like, oh, what are we doing? And he is saying there are going to be serious charges brought on the girl. On day 1. A near investigation that makes, in my opinion. I have questions. What investigation did you do on day 1 that you said Karen Read waffled her boyfriend? When only 4 magical pieces of taillight were found after Brian Tully, who has been rehomed, was at the scene with the CERT boys and a couple of unknown origin men in civilian clothing, just trotting around town. Oh, on a front lawn where you told them exactly where to go. And then we find out later from Officer Barrows that at 2:30 p.m. on January 29th, 2022, the trooper Michael Proctor had already decided he was going to not only interview Karen Reed, but he was going to seize the car, babes. Am I crying? No, I have allergies. So fuck him. All right? And the horse you rode in on. But Johnny D, he didn't want to be there. I feel bad for Johnny D. I said, oh, you know, he wasn't looking for that smoke. He got subpoenaed. But I think it did say something to the jury when he said, I don't feel comfy. I responded one time in this text messages, and also I definitely authenticated them because he had a password on his phone. So Judge Cannoni did make a correct ruling for once in her fucking life. Thank you, Beverly. Anyway, that was that. He gets off the stand. You've heard all of the text, and it pissed me off all over again. I was enraged for Karen. I go, what kind of absolute small-dicked man, all right? Got a tiny pecker. If that is what you're typing to your pals. And even your pals are saying something stinks. And it's you. P.U., Proctor. That's what I said. Then, oh, what is Will saying? He's being a little shit, I can tell. Oh my gosh, babes, I'm doing this on the actual YouTube this morning. I am a nightmare. I was gonna go to Dedham this morning. I was like, bitch, do it. Go to Dedham, right? Bring them some love and support. It's gonna be 105 degrees out today and tomorrow. And then it's a half a day for court. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll pop down at lunch. I took the day off. I don't know. But I think maybe the buffer zone, the folks, which is not buffed anymore, we're unbuffed. Perhaps maybe I shall trot. I'll do a trot to Boston. Trot to Lynn. Hole in the cell and Mia fell in. That's my daughter. Okay, so then we go to Kelly Deb, who is the hottest mess that ever was. I go, bitch, first and foremost, as a woman who needs to get her roots done, she needs to get her ends done. Clip them. Clip it. Put something in your locks. Help me help you. Because not only was she Veruca Salt adjacent, which was hilarious, Brian from LTL said that, but it was not a great color. It wasn't amazing. And she has, in sum and substance, ruined her career from getting on the stand in trial 2.0. Now, attorney Peter Tragos would say to you, he'd say, Kim, it wasn't a good thing. It wasn't a good look because she accused Alan Jackson of trying to get her for perjury, or said you could be charged with perjury. Except we know that attorneys don't charge anyone with anything. The DA does, right? What attorney is charging you with perjury because you had a, quote, false memory? I wanted to hold up a tiny doll and say, Kelly Deb, where did AJ hurt you? Where did he hurt you? Was it your feelings? Was it your heart? Where did he hurt you? Because you've got to unpack that shit, babe. You've got to go to therapy. She should be in here. Kelly, babe, go to therapy. Okay? We've all got to find a way out of this. And bitch, she is creeping. She is creeping. And it is not looking good. I am concerned. Are you telling me that on August 9th, 2023, the FBI, the FB Izzle, comes over to your house. They go, knock, knock, who's there? Kelly. Kelly answers, and she's like, yeah, I thought this was really weird. I thought it was a little sus that I saw Kenny B, Berkey, in the Sallyport with Big Neck Daddy Higgins. Oh, on January 29th, 2022. And then what happened? She goes, yeah, they were in there for a wicked long time. And then she clears up the memory, okay? She clears up the memory with the voodoo doll, with the doll of unknown origin, show me where he hurt you. And she says, it couldn't have been because I got out of work at 3:45, but I worked a double. I go, okay. But here's the thing. She says, guys, that it couldn't have been on January 29th, 2022. What about Sunday? What about the 30th? Because we know that Big Neck Daddy Higgins was at that station all weekend long, and he wasn't supposed to be. We're going to go back to 1.0 testimony where he says, you know, that he sleeps at the PD, that he is there all the time. We know that he likes to play imaginary moving vehicles, government issued vehicles at 1:30 in the morning during a blizzard. Oh. Well, then maybe you were there the next day, because we know damn right well that that Lexus was in the Sallyport of Canton PD until when? Mass State Police had, in the crime lab, came and took the pictures on February 1st, and then they did the testing on the 2nd, right? I'm unwell. Take a moment, let that sink in. What day was it, Kel? Because I know that Berkey was there and Higgy was there, and she did let one thing slip though, right? She was like, yeah, I know what Big Neck Daddy Higgins looks like. And he has an office at Canton Police Department because of his close relationship to Berkey. You weren't supposed to have a satellite office. I'm sorry, ATF. That's not protocol. No. Nope. But you got special treatment because of your relationship with the chief. And we heard that through Kel. So we also know that Kelly Devers, she was like a baby cop, right? Back in 2020, I think she got certified and she became the Canton police officer, a sworn officer. And then in 2023, she moves over to Boston Police Department. And she goes from making, babes, it's all public record, $90,000 in 2023. Nope. Yes. And then in 2024, she made $140,000. Oh. As a rookie at Boston PD? Shut it. You shut your mouth. I don't think it was like giving HJs either. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anyone was getting a handy. I think that you've got to go through seniority. My dad's a cop. Your dad's a cop. You know this, right? Everybody who gets your details, you get your overtime. Yes, they make a significant amount of money. Always has been like that. But you've got to work your way up to get that overtime and to get those details. I don't think that this young woman, she's what, 27 years old? You're not working that much in your rookie year. You're still proving yourself. You're going to the commissioner's office and you're having a little seat. He says, take a seat. And he says, do the right thing, Kelly. And then Kelly comes onto the stand, and she is, at this point, the most hostile witness of the entire trial on day 25. I left my body. Okay? Also, babes, fast fact. What is the average salary of a Boston police officer in 2025? Updated because I want the most up-to-date information. $70K. 70. 70. That's your base salary. So yes, I get it. You can be doing, like I said, your details, but something in the milk ain't clean if you ask me. I'm just saying. T So if other people are getting hired, are making around 70K, you're telling me that she's making double that salary? You can make more in your overtime and your details as a rookie. Nope. No. So when Hank Brennan asked, did the Commonwealth offer you any promises or inducements? I say they did. And the proof is in your paycheck, bitch. Pardon me, God forgive me. Tiny Jesus is not with me. I'm in a vehicle. I'll do 3 Hail Marys after. A Dunk's tea with 2 tea bags and skim milk only. Amber, are we best friends? Yes. Thank you for being here. This is Nana Phyllis. We're about to run through a wall together. So do you find that a little bit sus though, babes? Do you think that it's sus that she goes a $50,000 pay increase in her rookie year in Boston? She goes to meet with the commish. No one's ever asked her anything before. She to go and meet with the commissioner. Weird. And then to add insult to injury, she doubles down that it didn't happen and that it couldn't have happened because of her own extraneous timeline, because she left at 3:45. And again, I say that maybe it was the next day. Maybe it was Sunday. Just a thought. Yes. Jen C says, absolutely, of course. Then DeGlara says, you're a hater, bro. She's got 140K personality. Oh, well, doesn't she? Pick me. Oh, so then Sheila, listen, I watched this girl. Well, she's not a girl. She's a lawyer. She's incredible. She is that bitch. And Sheila said, substantially, what this was is that she didn't realize Kelly Dever wasn't smart enough. Dever, okay? Dever the Beaver. She wasn't smart enough to realize she was the sacrificial lamb. And I hope that it was worth it, because now, bitch, you get a desk job. At the end of this, do you realize that any crime or anything that she is involved in, she has to go testify at court? They will bring this up every single time. How sure are you of your memory? Because you've retracted statements of very substantial information and case-changing information in the past. I don't know if we can really depend on your memory, Kelly. That's what I say. And then, okay, that's that. Now, here it is, main event. Well, second main event. Choose me. Dr. Marie Russell, our angel face from God. The sweetest woman who ever lived, who in my mind, I've never met her, but if I did, she smells of peppermint. She also has several, like Werther's Original butterscotch candies directly in her pocket at all times. She puts Kleenex right here, okay? And she's like, oh, you need it? That's her. I was so impressed by Dr. Marie Russell. Like last year, I loved her, right? And I felt like a kinship with her, or I felt as though she was an angel. And I was like, oh, I just enjoy you. Like, I love your personality. She has 140K personality all day, Will, okay? And 240K. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. So she is worth everything to me. Her education, her life experience, her training. She is one of one. And I found her in the second trial, babes, even more credible. Lovies, I left my body. I go, oh my God, this is the best thing I have ever seen. It was impeccable on her direct testimony with Attorney Alessi, who brings out the best in her, right? She is just everything that you want. She's talking about her methodology. She's talking about her pattern recognition. She is talking about her ability to provide you this information is like 100% confirmed because of her. She's a physician, right? She's an ER doctor. She's a pathologist. She has done autopsy. She has done peer-reviewed articles regarding what? Canine injuries and wounds. No one is more qualified than Dr. Marie Russell in our country. And she does a bang-up job. She knocks it out of the park on direct. Then Hank Brennan comes in, and like the absolute weasel fuck he is, and the most off-putting human that I have seen in a courtroom in a long time, all right? He tries to discredit her, and she stands her ground. Did she get a little bit like, she got a little flustered with regards to asking about the transcript? And then she said, well, Attorney Alessi told me that I could ask for that. And it's like, okay, I guess the lawyers get our bullshit about that. But if you're a regular juror, yeah, okay, whatever. He didn't talk to her about the case. He just said, if you don't remember something, you can ask for that. That's like phoning a friend, in my opinion. I guess it's improper, but, you know, he didn't tell her anything else. He just reminded her that that is something she could do, which you're not going to tell me that everybody didn't talk to Jennifer McCabe about that. Okay? Because her, Carrie Roberts, every asshole that we've met has wanted their transcript, right? Oh, no, don't do that. Okay. My car's talking to me. Sorry. It said, you're a dumb bitch. Turn off your car. Okay. So, she does, just in my opinion, she is hitting back. And then the shock heard round the world is the DNA evidence, or lack thereof, of canine DNA evidence on Officer John O'Keefe's hoodie. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared emotionally for Hank Brennan to bring that up, because Terry Kuhn from UC Davis was on the Commonwealth's team, right? That was on their witness list. And you knew you couldn't discredit her in any meaningful way. So you had to go for the shock and awe, because you're a defense attorney, not a prosecutor. I said what I said. So he says there was no canine DNA found in the hoodie of Officer John O'Keefe's. And she says, yeah, well, and I think she hits back beautifully. I go, oh my God, the defense can't even talk this shit right now. But Dr. Russell held it down. She goes, well, yeah, but it wasn't tested. The clothing, the hoodie wasn't tested for a significant amount of time. And I can't tell you about the chain of custody when it was transported there. And Hank Brennan hits back and says what? He goes, well, you have absolutely no reason to believe that there was any issues with how this testing was conducted, do you? And she goes, well, for full completeness of an investigation, one may hope that this was done and done effectively and done within a reasonable time frame, which it was not. Now, if I could have connected, if I could have Wi-Fi'd in, if I could have telepathically connected to our queen, Dr. Marie Russell, what I would have said was, Dr. Marie Russell, you do have concerns about how these samples were taken. Because Maureen Hartnett from the Mass State Crime Lab talked all that shit to us in trial 1 and in trial 2. She said she called Terry Kuhn and that Terry gave her, gave her the directions and said, you just have to, swab them and then send them in. But we looked up online. We've done this how many times together because we're crazy. And we looked up everything. And for UC Davis Animal Hospital or Animal Laboratory, they give you specific instructions for what you're looking for. And for dogs' DNA via saliva, which is what was tested, it was supposed to be done one swab at a time. And best practice would have been to either send the entire item or to cut a section and send the sleeve to the lab, because this was the first time Maureen had ever done something like this, hence why she called Terry to ask her, like, I need directions. Well, bitch, we need to follow this like IKEA furniture. There might be 1,900 directions, but you need to make sure it was done correctly, and you didn't, Maureen. Babe, you did 2 swabs of 14 different areas at once. In unison. Boop, boop, boop. That's what you did. Stop it. Are you kidding me? No one expected this. Right? So, in totality, it's not even usable because you didn't follow the guidelines of what should have been done via UC Davis online. I digress, okay? But it should have been, at least, it should have been like swabs of every single of the 14 marks, right? Or why didn't you send the entire item to be tested by UC Davis Laboratories? Because they are the specialists. They have a specialty in testing this. They know their shit. Now, have I emailed Terry Kuhn at UC Davis and said, Terry, hi, it's Kim. Can you give me a little heads up, see here? And let me know, babe, is this considered like a standard of practice if both of these were done at the same time? And what did you tell Maureen Hartnett when you talked to her on the phone? Because she didn't do an email trail with you, she called you. Has she responded to me? No. Has she answered? Absolutely not. But maybe she will. Terry, it's not about you. I'm just saying. And maybe if they were to resend samples that were either A, done correctly, or B, sent the actual item of clothing, there may have been a different result. And it still doesn't ever make sense to me about the pig DNA either. Like, if there is pig DNA, no pun with pigs and cops, but was it like a treat, a pig treat, like a pig ear? Or someone said that potentially if they were eating, potato skins, if there was bacon on it. I'm like, what the fuck? Now I'm in the weeds. But based on the actual directions alone, she didn't follow them. Oops. Salud. Oh, then Hank Brennan also tried to discredit her with the accident reconstruction. How dare Dr. Russell have an opinion, babes, on Officer O'Keefe's injuries and say that they were not caused by a vehicle strike if she is not an accident reconstructionist. And she said, well, actually, I am certified. I might not be now, but I was certified because Queen Russell, first of her name, was the first Malden female police officer in 1973. I took a class. Okay? Top that. That's what she said. And I believed her. And I said, you dumb shit. Hank, have you still not done your summer reading? Like, you still don't know the background training and experience? And do you know what a police officer's job is? Did you know that they all did that in the 70s? Like, you clearly have to take at least a beginner's course. So she does. And if she has seen thousands of motor vehicle accidents, MVAs, back in all of her time that she has been a physician, an ER physician at the busiest hospital in Los Angeles County, flex. Like, she knows her shit. She knows what she's looking for with any kind of pedestrian strike, any kind of motor vehicle accident, and I loved it. Lovies, when I tell you, I jumped for joy when he said, Hank Brennan was asking her about the injuries, and do you know that Officer John O'Keefe was struck by a vehicle at 12:32 a.m.? And she said, I know what's alleged. I know there's an alleged pedestrian strike. I know that you allege she went at 24.24 miles per hour in reverse. And Hank Brennan does the unthinkable during this cross. He said, who told you 24 miles an hour? Well, you did, Hank. And so did Adam Lally. That was your whole case. Until Judson B. Welcher got up and said, well, it could have caused damage to the taillight, anything over 8 miles per hour, allegedly. But Judson B. Welcher never did any testing at 8 miles per hour. So where'd that number come from? We know his Blue Man Group came with his, his ability to paint himself and cosplay as Officer John O'Keefe at 2 miles per hour. Bump that bitch right up to 8. I want to see it. Let me see that tail light. He's like, oh, I could never have hit myself at 24 miles per hour. And I go, exactly, you couldn't have. And also with your exemplar, I didn't see him drive back. I didn't see any reverse of him in less than 4.5 seconds getting that vehicle up to 24 miles per hour, because it's impossible. It's not that that vehicle maybe couldn't get up to that at some point, but absolutely not is a 6,900-pound Lexus LX 570 getting up to 24.2 miles per hour in reverse when you're telling me that the fucking tires were slipping at some point because of the weather. Pick a lane, Commonwealth of Massachusetts, because the more possibilities that you continue to give to this jury, you are not solidifying that your theory is proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Every time that speed changes, every time there is an inconsistency, you're setting yourself up for more reasonable doubt. Just my opinion. But it was incredible. Okay. The world is watching. Gilly Kennedy, love it. Lurking Fed says Hank was trying to blame the Bushes for the injuries at the end. Bitch. Sorry, Lurking Feds, I don't mean that. Crazy. He fell in a bush. So now, is it a bush? Is it the taillight? Is someone a weed whacker? I don't know. Was the murder ground so frozen that Officer John O'Keefe struck his occipital region of his skull and got a 2-inch or an inch laceration to the back of his skull, and it caused a radiating basal skull fracture? It was such extensive brain injury, and it was so bad of a TBI, traumatic brain injury, that in my opinion, Officer John O'Keefe would have never had a quality of life. He may have been ventilated and he may have been on life support, but I don't think he would have ever come back, in my opinion. So all of this is occurring, and you're saying, well, maybe it wasn't, it maybe wasn't the taillight, it could have been the bushes. And the frozen murder ground caused such catastrophic damage to his head that it ended up taking out his life and was the cause of death. I go, oh. But then also, he had grass stains on his jeans, on his butt, right? So I don't know, riddle me this, lovies. Maybe you know more than I do. But do you get grass stains if the ground is so hard and so frozen that if you slid on it, you'd get grass stains from ice murder ground? I think not. I think the fuck not. Reminder. Okay? Contradictions. Too many options. Reasonable doubt. We got Karen Reeds to free, and we're doing it, babes. Day 25 and day 26 have been so substantial, have been so necessary, and have really, in my opinion, put a taste in the jury's mouth of this is the defense's case. And yet, as we go into today, I think we're looking at Karina Kolakithis, who's a lovey, who didn't drink the Kool-Aid of the moms in Canton, if you know what I'm saying, and had the most, like, sober recollection of the night from the waterfall. Straight shooter, has nothing to hide here. And Lucky Lawfren. Now, those were both what? Commonwealth witnesses in trial 1. Just like the next person we're going to talk about. A hero and the prince that was promised. Officer Nick Barrows. Dighton PD. Just doing the damn thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you a competent, incredible, law enforcement agent? Oh, how refreshing. Let me get my pearls. Babes. How do I not have my pearls on? How rude. Oh my God. And I tried to get, sorry. Like I told you, I'm at the Dunks. I can't get their Wi-Fi. Rude. There is no Wi-Fi here. Rude. Again. Then I go, hi, can I get a blueberry muffin? Because I love a blueberry muffin. A little bit warm with a little butter. He goes, I need 23 minutes. I said, oh, you need 23 minutes for me to get a blueberry muffin? He said, they're not ready. They're in the oven. I said, save one for me. He didn't laugh. But anyway, I got 3 munchkins. So let's, cheers. I'll take a glaze, you know? Okay, so next. Get your pearls so we can talk about him. And I'm trying to be so fast, babes, because I know this is Jimmy Does Mornings, but I needed to see you. You guys needed like proof of life because I didn't post for 2 days. And I was getting messages that were like, have you been compromised? And I was like, no, I'm okay. Okay. They're on. They're on. With that cunt Nurse Kim button. Ho-ho! Thank you, Kirk Minahan. Okay. So, now, I love you. I love you, Val. Oh, and then I carry my pearls. Of course I do. Babe, I carry multiple sets of these little shenanigans. And Dighton Daddy, Gen C. Oh, yes. Donovan, we are getting ready to clutch. Prepare, my babes. Okay, so just end it with, in the name of the Father and of the Son and Dr. Marie Russell, amen, right? She is everything. I am so proud of her. She was stronger in 2.0. She is credible. She is one of one. She is that bitch. I think she got our Christmas cards. Do you know what I'm saying? I think she got them. I think that she found all the power within herself and answered those questions and rebutted Hank Brennan in such a manner that it was really impressive. It's impressive because this is, I can imagine how scared, babes, like not scared, but how nerve-wracking it is. I'm anxiety riddled. You know this, okay? You know that I am on the verge of a mentee B with anxiety. Like I'm always like, oh, is everyone okay? Right? Just because, like, that's my baseline. But going in front of a nationally televised trial, testifying in the first trial, being voir dired, and meeting Hank Brennan for the first time, And he treated her so poorly, and he was so disrespectful in that voir dire before trial too. And then to come in and really knock it out of the park, in my opinion, how she did it, chef's kiss, 10 out of 10, would recommend. And I'm going to send her a Christmas card next year. I might for the rest of my life. But I think that she is just like encouragement, just to tell her like that we appreciate that you are so smart. And, you know, there's nothing like a handwritten card to like give you your confidence and to say like you telling the truth and you standing up for what is right is inspirational to a lot of people, because there's not been many instances in this case. But our next guy did. Oh, nope, I lied. One more thing. So sorry, babes. I just wanted to read this in totality because this was the best part. When the Commonwealth and Hank Brennan read the report of their own expert that they're going to try to bring in rebuttal, Dr. Welch, they were using his words to discredit Dr. Russell. But then the last question from Attorney Alessi, he reads this paragraph. And this shit is bomb. Like, this was mic drop moment, because this is another one of the Commonwealth's witnesses who say, fuck you. Oops, we still don't have enough. And here is the paragraph. I wrote it down. In totality, the injuries documented in report and photographs are non-specific and may be the result of a variety of different mechanisms. No additional information was provided regarding the circumstances or events surrounding the death. The absence of additional information prohibits the attribution of injuries and contribution of findings to a specific underlying cause of death, aka undetermined manner of death, right? And the injuries. They're so non-specific that your guess is as good as mine. And what the Commonwealth brought to Irene Scorti-Bello, our medical examiner, she said, okay, do you have more? Okay, what else have you found? Okay, now I've given you 3 months to continue to do an investigation and you still have the same shit that you had on day one? There is no video. There is no eyewitness. There is no results that are leading me to a vehicle struck Officer John O'Keefe. Just like another expert of theirs has said. If this stays with the jury, this is huge. And I don't know why Judge Cannoni, I was still trying to figure out, I go, why did she let this in? You know? I was like, oh, what are we doing? How are you allowing this in right now? This feels weird, right? But because Hank read from their report, it was only fair that the defense got to read the portion that was his summation. This wrapped everything up and said, yeah, still can't tell you. Which is just like the blunder of Judson B. Welcher spreading his load everywhere, but also not telling us anything. You've distributed the load, sir, but we still don't know. A plus B equals spreading your load like a dramatic gay starfish. Allegedly. Wild. So then, again, the prince that was promised. We are here. Welcher load. Ew. Sorry, Donovan. Yeah, I got a little frisky on that one. I know, all over the bed. What happens when I distribute my load all over the bed? Oh. I have emotional damage from hearing that. Ew. No one cares. And Super Squirrel said, for $350K, you'd be table dancing, babe. Ooh, for $350K. Ooh. God only knows what one would do, right? I'd be Blue Man Group, you know, on the tatas, hitting this, I mean, that would be frowned upon. And I don't think there's a market for that. But I'm just saying, he danced for his money. That is for sure. And Nicola Maxwell said, I almost vomited. The turtle listen, turtle, how are ya? Says, Hank doesn't kill my vibe. I can't feel your energy from 2 planets away. Oh. Is he in Uranus? No, that's not even a planet. No, Pluto is not a planet. Uranus still is. And he's on Uranus. He's in Uranus, on Uranus, and around it. He's got an itch. He can't scratch. Uranus. Okay, stop it, Kim. Oh, Charicity says, I've done that for a lot less than $350K. You guys are the best. Why are you the best chat in the whole wide world? I am obsessed with you. Good morning. Good morning, Kelly. Oh, and the rim of, yeah, the rim jobs. I mean, there is so much. And I try to keep it profesh, but then you're giving me this. I'm Scottie Pippen, bitch. I've got to lay this up. I am unable to not respond. Oh, we've got company. Oh my God, I'm going to die. Oh my God, somebody just parked next to me. You don't know me. Okay, they left. Oh, okay. All right, so now we're in Dighton. We're traveling. We're turning back the hands of time to January 29th, 2022. Okay? We are living our best lives because we don't know what's happening. Officer Barrows is at work. He's just doing the damn thing. He hears a name of the Reeds, okay? William Reed. Because William Reed had called Dighton PD and requested an escort from the police to Brockton Hospital, aka Good Samaritan. And unfortunately, he was not given one. And they were like, oh, okay. And he gets a call at 2:30 in the afternoon. Who was the call from? Former Trooper Michael Proctor. And he says, hey, bitch, I'm coming up to this address, blankety blank, blank, blank. And I'm going to be seizing the vehicle of Karen Reed. And he's like, cool. He says, this vehicle was involved in a homicide in Canton. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm fucking sorry. Did you just say a homicide in Canton? When Officer John O'Keefe was just pronounced at 7:50 a.m. And no taillight was found at 2:30 p.m., babes. So what homicide are you talking about? You had no evidence at all, planted or not. And at 2:30 p.m., your big fat flapping mouth said that Karen Reed's Lexus was affirmatively involved in a homicide. Oh, I'm gonna need us to, this is a code red. Clutch your pearls, clench your butts, lovies. I teleported. I went to Uranus. No, I didn't. I spin out on the rings of Saturn. I don't do trips to Uranus, okay? But I left the scene. I'm standing, I'm walking, I'm up, I'm down. I don't know what to do with that fact when I hear it. I go, the eye starts twitching. I'm unwell. What are we doing here? So then he ends up showing up. He goes to the house. He meets them there. He contacts Diamond Towing because they are who they use, right? That's who Dighton Police use. He has no connection to Mass State Police. He is an independent agent. He has no connection to Canton Police Department. They are an independent agency, right? He goes to the house. He's outside the entire time, right? And he sees Buchanan and he sees Proctor, and they end up going in the house. They're in there for a long time, he says. And he's like at the garage. He meets Mrs. Reed and Mr. Reed. And he just is like, hey, what's up? And he's looking at the tail light, because it had damage to the right rear tail light, allegedly from Trooper Michael Proctor. Again, where did Trooper Proctor have all of this information from? I'll give you the count of 3, babes, to say it together, because it's just us. 1, 2, Jennifer McCabe. You remember, he had already done an interview with Jen at her house with Mr. McCabe, Matt McCabe, Mr. Veneers. And yes, Jenny M, look at you guys. You are the smartest and the prettiest. Big mouth Jenny. Ooh, she's a talker. They had already done that, and with Brian Albert, her brother-in-law, because she was like slightly fear-based, allegedly, that like, oh, I wanted to feel comfortable. So Uncle Bri just came over to my house. And so I could talk to the police when he was there. But he didn't coach me, he didn't help me, and he was standing in another room. Okay, so then what the fuck did you need him there for? He couldn't have given you a pep talk on the phone. It's a blizzard. You're in the midst of a nor'easter, bitch. And yet he's doing a trot-trot to your house? Still doesn't make sense, just saying. So, we know now, which I didn't know last trial, that at 2:30 p.m., this is before Proctor is texting his 9 best friends from first grade, talking all that shit. This is at 2:30, before the taillight was ever found. So, okay. So he's there and he's like, yeah, he says, you know, I get the tow truck guy. He comes, scoobity beep bop. I'm just there as a courtesy, right? Like this isn't like, I don't have any stake in this game. It's just, they called me, I showed up. It's the way things work. So he then writes a little scant report, and also scant. Hank Brennan, you bitch. Well, don't call my report scant. I'll call you a skank, you know? What are you talking about, scant? That is so rude. So, like, meaning that it's like very little in the report. But he said that there was damage to the right rear tail light. And last year, he said that it was cracked with a piece missing, but it wasn't completely damaged. That's what he said, verbatim, right? Out your mouth. This year, the picture from the Sallyport is brought up. And when Officer Barrows, babes, says, or AJ asks him, is this the condition of the taillight that you saw, you know, when you were in Dighton on January 29th, 2022? And he says, absolutely not. I said, that's it. I go, that's it. I said, he did it. I go, oh, I am doing laps. At this point, I am pacing, okay? Call me pacey, and I'm at Dawson's Creek. I'm fucked all the way up. I go, oh my God, it's happening. Oh, and then he describes that. And he goes, yeah, bitch, you see that other, like the outer side piece? That's where it was missing. But the whole rest of the red was all intact. So you know where that like tiny piece of the red taillight is up at the top, and then the rest is gone, and then the whole freaking thing is blown out? He says, absolutely not. That's a completely busted taillight. He goes, all I saw was this side, right? Like that little side there. And I said, this is it. This is a wrap. He just confirmed that Mass State Police has lied. This was not the condition of the taillight he saw. Now, many a troll, and even some of the attorneys yesterday, had concerns about his cross-examination. And I don't. The impact of Officer Nick Barrows and his ability to cut through the bullshit and say, hey, I this is what I saw. And no matter how many times Hank Brennan tried to discredit him or tell him that his memory wasn't accurate, that we did show you this picture last year or you didn't, then he's showing he's showing his transcript. So it's like, do you want people to call and use their transcripts or not, dickhead? And he goes, okay, so I made a mistake. Nothing in him was flustered. Nothing. I just spit at you and I didn't mean to, okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She's a thirsty bitch. Hold on. I apologize, babes. I'm spitting. Okay, so I don't care. It was so important. And that does not change. I don't care that you tripped him up of what he said or what he didn't say. It was still accurate. When he said that it was damaged but not completely broken, or no, it was cracked with a piece missing but not completely damaged, that is consistent with what he described. And the most important thing that those pictures, or like his testimony and the pictures that were brought up, show, in my opinion, the tow truck, the Karen Reed's Lexus, right, getting put onto the tow truck and seeing that spot where you see the white and then you see all red. I go, oh, that is completely different. And you saw that in rapid succession, and the jury saw that. And then they tried to say, oh, well, it was covered in snow. And Hank Brennan is like, well, this was at 8 o'clock in the morning and this was covered with snow. Well, bitch, I'm looking at 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 4:17, whenever the hell before you cleared the scene was. When the car was being put on the tow, there wasn't packed snow. It wasn't. And we can go by a timeline of events, chronologically speaking, and say, well, that doesn't make sense. Because when I'm looking at that tail light from the dash cam, it doesn't look like the snow does look weird to me in one spot, but not the entire thing. And then when you see it from the angle of the tow truck, it looks way more intact. And then when you see the 507 of the ring camera footage, I mean, this is all within the same day, babes. Except for the Canton Police Department Sallyport photo, because that wasn't taken until February 1st, 2022, 3 days later. There is no photos that were taken by Mass State Police, by Canton Police, by Dighton Police, by anybody, okay? Not a gosh darn soul took a photo of that vehicle. All we have is ring camera footage. So I don't think it was the main fucking event. The taillight was never the main event on January 29th. If it was, everyone would have been taking pictures of it. You can't tell me that they wouldn't have. And because they chose not to, that says something. I'm just saying. And I think that if they go back and if the jury goes back and they say, let's put all the pictures that we have in evidence of this taillight and let us see. That's reasonable doubt. And I am so proud of our prince that was promised. And do you know, lovies, there is something that is so sad too with Officer Barrows. You know that he was hit by a drunk driver in 2023, right? Severely injured, hospitalized, months and months of rehab. This man would have more bias towards if this was a hit and run or a drunk driving that if he like thought to himself, oh my God, she did it and I could crucify her for this, he has an innate, you would think he would have a reason to like, oh my gosh, he was hurt and no one should be drunk driving. And it's like now his mission in life that he wants to prevent anyone, from being a pedestrian, that, he was at a stop and he gets, like whatever. He could have been the one that said, I have an animus here that I can't look away. I can't turn the other way because this has directly impacted my life, my health, my family. And all because this 30-year-old girl this is his who actually struck him, was going like 70 miles an hour. I mean, it's horrible what happened to him and the injuries in which he sustained. And yet he chose to do the right thing. And he wasn't asked by the commissioner to do it. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't bring that up. Like the Commonwealth, Hank Brennan knew damn right well not to be like, oh, and weren't you struck by a drunk driver? Because that would have been a sympathy, right? Like that would have been garnered sympathy from him. But, I think he's such a stand-up individual, and you don't know what that answer was going to be to that Sally Port photo. God only knows. He could have said, yeah, that is very similar. That is exactly what I saw. You can't know that. And you don't like to ask questions that you don't know the answer to for any attorney. So that is where I say to you guys that if we keep our faith, all right? I have so much fear because I get so worried about juries. And after the first trial, I had so much confidence that Karen would be acquitted. I believe truly and firmly that Officer John O'Keefe's life and his death will impact the Commonwealth of Massachusetts for here on out. I pray that there are laws that come from what was done and what was not done in this investigation by Mass State Police, by the Norfolk DA's office, and I hope that things change for the better. Because Officer John O'Keefe's life mattered. It matters. And in that same breath, Karen Read is factually innocent and has had to deal with 2 trials. And the stress on her body as somebody with a, chronic illness of MS, her family, and all of your support means the most to Karen. And afterwards, I pray that laws change for Karen and for you and for me and for my daughters and my sisters and my best friend. I don't have a sister, but you're my sisters, right? My best friends from out of town. Because we deserve better than what the Commonwealth and Mass State Police have embarrassed us with in this case. And it truly has been an embarrassment. And if it wasn't so shocking, and if it wasn't so unbelievably obtuse, yeah, I said it. I don't even know if that's correct use, but it's obtuse in my mind. It's absurd. And I got something in my pocket for you, Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Okay? Don't spend it all in one place. There's an elderly man next to me and I might actually be in love. Oh my God, is he gonna get a small coffee? I bet he's gonna get a small coffee. Oh God. He's driving a Buick. He's so friggin' cute. Oh, oh, don't make it weird, Kim. Oh, I'm gonna blush. Oh, I'm blushing. Hello. Oh. His name is Charlie. Okay. Okay. That is it. That is all. That is it. Okay. All right. He's walking in. He's going in. Oh my God. Does he need me? Should I go walk with him? Okay, stop. Okay. I am obsessed. I love little old men. He's so cute. I should buy him his coffee. Okay, anywho. So listen. That was it. That is my like summation of day 25, day 26. Will I go to court if it is not 105 degrees this afternoon? Potentially. Okay? It's 54 degrees right now. We're going to be in a heat wave, okay? It is also hot as balls in that courtroom. You know this. Am I living on a prayer that I might get an invite? Maybe. Maybe I'll be in the courtroom sweating to the oldies, okay? Looking, listening, paying attention. Water, Diet Coke, everything. Won't have a tea, right? But that is it. Now, I thank you for being here. Go watch your aunt, Deborah, because I didn't want to fuck up Auntie Deb's time this morning. But thank you for being here, babes. We're gonna watch till 2 o'clock, and then maybe I'll do a traffic jam mix, and I'll do a live this afternoon. Okay? All right. Mwah! I love your faces. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for answering my FaceTime, babes. Bye. Are you sure? Yes. No?